What I'd like to talk about today is going to be the footwork for our tacking. I'm going to run this session as I would usually run a session for one of my clinics. So please feel free to pause the video at any time and to do it yourself at home. Ideally you want a board, it can be on the floor. If you haven't got a board, just something to step around should do the job nicely. And this is something that you can practice as well. If you haven't got a board, you could just, here we go. One flip-flop, that is going to be my mast foot or my UJ. I can practice the same technique with this. Step up, step round, and just get yourself moving. Keep your body loose and you're moving fast and smooth. Even if you've got nothing, the more you practice this, the better it becomes. It causes us to think, the signals get sent down to the muscles, and we train our body to make the movement. Muscle memory helps. If you are using something, you want either your mast foot or UJ in the board, or something to symbolise that. When we're looking at doing our tacking footwork, it's very important that we do not freeze while we're on the board. Okay, we want to keep our footwork smooth and flowing. If we freeze and we stay in one spot, that's when things are going to go wrong. Yes, we do have to be accurate with where we put our feet, but what is more important is that we are moving smoothly. So first of all, what we want to make sure is that you prepare and your feet move forwards roughly around shoulder width apart. Okay? Now this is important that it's roughly around shoulder width apart because this offers you the optimum balance between mobility and stability. Okay? If my feet are too wide, I'm very stable, but suddenly I become immobile and it's very hard for me to push up and stand up to here. It's a giant step. However, if my feet are too close together, it's very quick and easy for me to step up, but unfortunately it causes me to stand very upright and I lose my stability. We want a magic mix of the two, and that magic mixture is going to be around about as wide as our shoulders. So something like this, something like this. There's a little bit of leeway either side. You can go slightly wider, you can go slightly narrower, but roughly around shoulder width apart. Once again, I mentioned the width of our legs. Stronger winds, when I'm looking for more stability, the water is likely to be more rough. I want to have slightly wider. Okay? This is okay because you're likely to have more speed in stronger winds, so the board is going to be more stable. You can have a slightly wider stance on entry. Lighter winds, you're likely to be stood more around the middle of the board, so slightly narrower than shoulder width apart, because this is where the volume and the support is. You can't be stood on the tail. Also, we need to be quick around the mast if we're tacking in light winds, so having your weight slightly further forward is going to help. If the wind is light, the water is also likely to be smooth, so it's easier to keep our balance with a narrower stance in those conditions. So from your sailing position, you prepare with your hands first. It's now time to prepare with your feet. Front foot, we want to wrap as much around the mast as possible. Okay? I like to think about getting my toes facing back down the board. Okay? As I'm going into the wind, my weight comes forward, I'm starting to steer, and I'm looking where I'm going. As soon as I see the board is into the wind, that is your visual cue to step up and around the board. Back leg steps up right by the front foot next to the mast. Step up, step back. We're going to look at that another time. Feet roughly around shoulder width apart. Prepare by getting the front foot around the front. As I'm steering upwind, you might be able to turn that foot a little bit more. As soon as I see the nose of the board is into the wind, that is my sign to step. Step up, step round. The more that I can wrap my foot around the mast to begin with, makes a clear space for my new foot when I step up. If I do not wrap my foot around enough to begin with, it either forces us to stand on the side of the board, or usually standing too far forwards and sinking the nose. The more we can prepare by wrapping the foot around, means it's a lot easier to step. We create space. When it comes to the exit of the tack, try and step to the back of the board. As we move around the front, the likelihood is that the nose is going to want to sink. So in order for us to recover from this, we want to step up, step back. The nose should come up and balance. Combine this with the correct technique with the sail and the mast foot pressure. The board should be flat and we should exit our tack nice and smooth. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the board around so that you have a slightly different angle of what's going on. Okay? Make sure that you guys are pausing this video and you're trying this at home, and practice makes perfect. Okay? I'm going to go for a slightly wider stance here. Okay? If behind the foot straps. However, if the wind was really, really light and to stop sinking, I might come in front of the foot straps. Okay. Front foot wraps around. I start to steer into the wind. As I see the board goes into the wind, step up, step back. Stay low. Prepare. Shift your hips forwards as you come into the wind. And we're looking where we're going. As that board comes into the wind, step up, step back. We're going to really try and use our head here. And I'm going to keep my head looking into the wind as I do my transition. Head turns, step back. Turning your head will help to stabilise you, but it will also help you get your body moving in the right way as well. So looking upwind, borders into the wind, step round. Look at my head, step up, turn the head, step back. Keep your knees and your ankles soft. We don't want to be stepping up and down, but move through soft knees, soft ankles. We want to be loose and flexible. So preparing, step up, step back. As you repeat this movement, you're going to find that you're going to be getting smoother and smoother at it. It's important that we don't spend too long doing the movement, but what we don't want is for you to be throwing yourself at it so fast that you lose your composure and you throw yourself off the board. That's not going to help you at all. Accuracy is going to help. Move with control, and naturally as this technique develops and you practice, you're going to get a lot faster and smoother at it. So once again, preparation, front foot comes round, weight comes forward as I come into the wind. As soon as I see the nose is into the wind, that's my cue to step up and around. Step up, step back, keeping the head up and the body down. Exit, always try and make sure your foot comes back behind the foot straps. That will help to pull the nose up out the water and stop it sinking and just help you to balance the board. Like with everything, practice makes perfect. That's it for this session. I hope you find this helpful. I'll do another upload soon. Thank you very much.